I am Martin Courchen from CEA. We are working on a pilot called a project review tool. This pilot is a little special as it is not like the other ones in the sense that it involved work done with a stakeholder, which was actually initially for the one who were there when we actually made the proposal. They were part of the proposal, and after the project was accepted, they had to withdraw for some reason I won't talk about right now. But they decided to keep supporting me for doing this pilot. So the idea was to because we've been working with them for several years. They we have been building some software, some simulation to help them doing a better job. So the idea was to simulate all concepts ahead of time before to end up in the middle of the ocean to do a job with a bad design. So the idea was to be able to put around the same table the engineers and the operators so that they could iterate on making sure that the planned mission was as de-risked as possible. What was missing at the time was the introduction of realistic environmental data in those simulations. So that's what we did in this pilot so far. So the idea was to, in the context of a system they wanted to build, which was aiming at making some maintenance on the floating wind turbine without having to unhook them, bring them to the port, fix them, and bring them back because it takes time, it's expensive. So they wanted to do that on site, but there's no lifting device that exists that can do that. So the idea was to make a new concept of this device, to simulate it, to validate the concept against our environmental data. And this is called like virtual prototyping, really. And once everything is happy, they can build it for real and try it. So this is well, to get the environment data, we've been going through GeoMachine. So we go, closing that. We go into GeoMachine. We select the location, timeline, and then pull a button. Well, we actually like just for the sake of showing what's going on, we this gets loaded into a script, and then there's an API that is being called, so we retrieve the data, and we get the sea state, for example. So when we were doing that, we were so that we have some treatment to do to get the real state of the ocean. And sometimes we would just get into some places where there's no activity, no big waves or no action really. And talking with Valentin, who's not far away from here, the next operation will be to go through his software, which is going to be able to, for a given location and large timeline, try to find the larger activity, the higher sea level, so that we can really get the worst case scenario and validate. So we get this sea state into the simulator. So one of the other things that seemed to be very important here is when the vessel gets close to the wind turbine, well, we do real time like computation of the hydrodynamics. It works pretty well, but when you get two floating objects close to each other, they're going to be influencing each other, and we thought it would be important to measure that. So we've been working on adding the coupling between the hydrodynamics of those nearby floating structures. So basically, this is model reduction. We have to do the simulation on offline software like Diodor, or there are others, to catch the effect, and then we bring all those parameters into our model reduction to be able to get the real-time simulation. Real-time simulation is important because we have the human in the loop. We have the operator on the console there. We also have to connect to a DP system which I couldn't bring with me today, so that's why I just have a video. And then you get the approach of the vessel that will hook to the floating part of the wind turbine, because the rest above we can't really hook to it. It's very fragile. And now this machine that you see there doesn't exist in reality. It's just a concept, and we're still working at improving it based on the result from the simulation. So this is really to do the virtual prototyping, making sure that they can develop as fast as possible. This is a little funny little thing that I put in there, because this is on a different mission that we did, where the objective was to bring like a 10 tons pipe down the ocean, and so the operator came and tried a simulator. So there was this yellow structure is rigid, supporting the flexible structure underneath. And during the operation, you see the extension in the red structure that are there to hold the sling. One of those extension, we actually went through the cabin. Happily, it was a simulation, so the crane operator was quite surprised, but in reality, he would have been dead. So now we recreated the experience. And he's dead. So that was, but that's real. Like, they had to redesign this structure to make sure that it was safe for the operator. So one victory for simulation. That's it. Thank you.